Hi everyone, Jeff and Steph.
Excellent adventure somewhere in America.
Yeah, somewhere in America.
Mm-hmm.
And today we want to talk to you guys about safety on the road as RVers. There's lots of things you can do to help keep yourself safe and that you can prepare for ahead of time. So as they occur, you're not all stressed out trying to figure out what to do.
And I think sometimes people have somewhat of a false sense of security. Now, obviously, RVing, camping, it's kind of a safe activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't let your guard down either.
For sure.
You know, so.
I think I want to take my glasses off.
I definitely don't.
Yeah, you won't be able to see.
No.
I just realized we're in the shade, and even though it's a hot day, and so
Yeah.
I'm going to take those off.
Good. So anyway, we have a big list here of things that we thought of. It's not everything for sure. There's a lot more, and if you think of other things, feel free to add them into the comments. But it's kind of our random list of things that we thought of, and
things that we do that we've heard from other RVers and learned over the years that we think are really key talking points that a lot of people don't seem to know about when we bring it up. So
yeah, and we do meet a lot of RVers that ask us about, how do you guys stay safe on the road? Like, are you worried? Is there any danger? Or have you ever been in a situation where there's danger and
sketchy campgrounds or camping situations?
You should listen to your senses, for sure. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, or it's better to listen to that gut feeling if something just doesn't seem right.
That's our number one item. If the campground or the place you're staying at doesn't feel good, feels a little sketchy, or you see people walking around that don't look like they're supposed to be there, you got wheels, move on.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't sit there and stress yourself out and worry about things that could happen or have something happen and you're stuck in that place. So if it doesn't feel good, just leave.
And that goes with every aspect of life.
Yeah.
If you just don't feel good about a certain situation, just leave.
Yes.
Okay, now this first one is a little there's two sides to it, so we're going to go with this first side of it. Sometimes it's not safe to share your location, and this can be a thing with YouTubers, and it can be a situation with people in general. They're telling a bunch of people, hey, I'm going to be down here boondocking by myself, and I can't wait. And probably not a good idea. You want to kind of keep things a little bit quiet on that front.
But we do recommend you do share your location with family or friends so someone at least knows where you are.
Always.
Yeah. And if they haven't heard from you or in case of an emergency, they can get to you.
Yeah, super important because, again, things happen.
Yeah.
And it may seem obvious, but make sure you know where your emergency exits are on your RV.
Yes.
Because when these things catch fire or flood or who knows what, you want to be able to get out of there, and maybe the front door is not accessible.
Yeah, maybe your doors aren't an option, so know which windows are pop-outs or escape emergency windows and how to get out of them quickly.
For sure, yeah. And that also goes with securing your windows at night. Now, some windows are high, like on ours would be high to kind of climb into.
And fifth wheels, they're really high off the ground, so it would make it difficult to climb up into. But if your RV's lower, make sure if you leave your windows open and they're secure.
Now, this next one's a little bit controversial, but we're not afraid of controversy, always stuff.
We live for the controversy.
Yeah.
If you've seen some past videos.
Yeah. So, as far as keeping safe to protect yourself or your pets.
Your person, yep.
We're not really going to talk about guns because it's not something that we want to elaborate on. It's up to your own.
It's a personal choice.
Self to your Second Amendment rights. You should exercise them if you so inclined, and if you do, make sure you're trained and you're practiced and you're proficient with your firearm that you have. Over 60% of RVers have guns on board. So
fact we've read, and it's actually over 60% now. So it is a thing. So make sure that they're stored safely. whether you have a gun safe or however you store them.
Yep.
Make sure you know how to use them and you're proficient at that. Make sure you're licensed to use them in the state you're in or to even be traveling with them. And there's multiple books out there and on Amazon and websites you can look at to see what's legal and what's not legal.
If you don't feel comfortable with guns, you should always, especially when you're out hiking or you're out with your pet or whatever, have bear spray or at least pepper spray.
Yeah, we carry pepper spray on our dog leashes now, and we carry the gel form. This comes up really often in the RV world. It's protection for you and your pets. And we have had our dog and ourselves attacked by other dogs in campgrounds. So now we carry gel pepper spray. And the benefit of gel over airborne spray is that it actually sticks to your target when you spray it.
Yeah.
It's like that silly string. So it will make contact and it's a contained area, so it won't be airborne and get in everyone's eyes. But it's good to have for wild animals that may attack or come at you. This
Wild
could
people.
be dogs, this could be people. It's a good line of protection. You can pick it up at any sporting goods store. We have little containers that are like this big on our dog leashes that have a clip and they hook right on, and we can't have those with us at all times. So that's a personal safety asset for us.
And the good thing about, especially with the gel, they want you to basically paint an X on somebody, and you hit them anywhere from the chest up to the head, it hurts, and it will stop them.
Yeah.
So maybe when they're down, hit them again. You know, that might be what I do.
Yeah, we hear a lot of dog attacks in campgrounds and people's dogs getting attacked. And if you have that with you, you know, it's just helps that situation be over so much quicker.
Yeah, and we've had our dog attack, like Steph was saying. We have friends that their dog was attacked and killed. And we have some other friends a week ago.
They had two dogs attacked.
Yeah,
at a campground.
And you know, the medical bills, the trauma, and you know, especially with the whole part of maybe getting your animal killed is not worth the risk.
It's
and
worth
that's why you
the
need
$20 canister of the pepper gel spray.
Absolutely.
And pick up a couple of those. They do sell them discounted in 2 and 3 packs. You can get them on Amazon too, but so worth it.
Yeah.
For you boondockers out there especially.
Yeah.
Always have some Walkie Talkies or a
Walkie
satellite
Talkies
phone.
are really important, and if you are inclined to do boondocking a lot, and a lot of people love to boondock, you know, and typically you can go so far out, and if you don't have something like maybe Starlink, and you have no signal, you might want a sat phone.
Yeah.
And we looked into them at one time, and they're pretty reasonable. It's not like a cell phone; you're going to use it all the time.
Right.
And there's a certain charge every month, and if you make a call. But well worth your safety.
Yeah, there's been many times we're out somewhere and there's zero service.
Yeah.
And that's driving, hiking, whatever. If you have something like that, a walkie-talkie, and your partner has the other one, at least you can be in touch if you have to separate, or, you know, if you have the sat phone, you can call for help. So we highly recommend either or both of those.
It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. People, unfortunately, have died in their RVs, and it's typically related to carbon monoxide. The same thing in houses, but it's a little bit more concentrated in a small space if you have a problem. So you want to make sure your carbon monoxide, your propane sensors, your smoke alarms are all functioning properly.
Make sure you check batteries. Just replace them every year. They
every
don't
year,
cost
replace
that much.
them. Yep. Sometimes I go in RVs, I never see them. Fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
And there should be one right by the door, and they're typically mounted there
we've had
as
them
new
mounted
units.
in our RVs.
Yeah. But we have a lot of others too. We have them under the sink. We have them in the bathroom. We have them outside. We have them inside our tow vehicle.
Yeah, and we bought the spray cans,
Yeah.
the fire extinguisher cans, and they come in 3 or 6 or 12 packs even. And we found them on Amazon, but those the cans are great, and they're small. They don't take up a lot of room, and we have them all over the place.
Yeah.
So we're able to pull out one of those and take care of business if we have to.
Hopefully. If not, we can run. We're pretty good at that too. Make sure your trailer brakes are functional. Now we have engine braking on our dually, and we're pulling a heavy trailer, and I have no idea if those brakes are working or not, but the truck seems to stop it really good.
Yeah, the engine braking is the bomb.
I'm kidding.
Definitely a blessing of our truck.
Yeah, but you want those trailer brakes working, because if you have to stop suddenly, you need those trailer brakes to stop that weight.
Yeah, it happens when you drive through cities.
Yeah, we had one recently where the truck just cut straight in front of us, and I had to mash those brakes, and we stopped pretty quick. I was impressed by the stopping power. It's the only time I really tested it, because we always keep a nice, comfortable cushion when we're in traffic.
Yeah.
So, but they worked pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a little swearing, but it was all right.
We made it through okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that if you're going to build a wood campfire, it is okay with your campground or the park you're in. They're super dangerous. Sparks fly and fires ignite, and half this country burns in wildfires. It seems like every year.
Yeah.
We're from the Pacific Northwest and Oregon, and it seems like Oregon's on fire every summer.
Well, not a summer has gone by. We haven't been in smoke somewhere in this country, whether it's in Canadian fires or it's the West Coast fires or somewhere else.
Whether they're started by man, an accident, or whether they're just ignited because of heat, whatever, still make sure you keep your campfires well under control. Don't make them too big. Use propane fire pits if possible. They don't spark like the wood ones do, and they're much easier to contain and put out by just turning the gas off. So we love our propane fire pit.
Yeah.
We haven't had a real fire pit since we started RVing.
No, we don't miss it either.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big one too, and I don't think a lot of people are really super up on doing this, but obviously you have a first aid kit, and hopefully you got everything you need in that first aid kit, and then extra we have like 3 first aid kits because I'm so clumsy. But snake bite kits, super important, especially with pets.
If you're in the area, where you might need them.
Yeah.
We have snake bite kits for people and for dogs.
Yeah, and I've been bit by a lot of things. The worst.
The snake is the one thing you haven't been bit by.
I haven't been hit by it, but bad spiders have bitten me and caused
black widows.
Black widows, So I've had some bad bites from different things. I've had tick bites and dog bites for you, right?
Yeah. So we're big fans of the snake bite kits. We're out in a lot of desert country and dry countries, and in the South where this can be an issue.
Yeah.
And also just have first aid kits. We have
When I first met Stephanie, she told me we're going to have to keep a first aid kit handy with you around. I said, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Jeff and tools.
Bad things happen to them. If someone is prowling around the outside, okay, if you have your keys next to the bed, and typically, most of us now have key fobs, you can hit that alarm button on there, and it'll scare the crap out of anybody, because they don't think you hear them. And you hit that button, and your car just goes crazy, beeping and honking and wailing away. That's going to scare away everybody.
Anyone that's nearby, and they're going to take off.
So everybody's heard about the gas stops, the Mopica gas stops, and for those of you that haven't, the Mopica gas stops is a little valve that goes between the gas line and the gas tank. And if it notices a sudden release of gas, it'll shut off the gas tanks, which is super important. There's kind of a mixed signals about whether you should be driving with your propane on or not.
It's always in question on forums we see.
But these are going to help a lot to protect against something like that. If a line cracks, opens up, just completely separates, the Mopica will shut off the gas, and that's a big, huge start of fires. So
you gotta practice what we preach.
We're not good at this one, but
don't overtax yourself on hikes. We just keep going. We're like, oh, what's around this corner? What's around this corner? And it might be 95 degrees out or something. Just be aware. Take care of yourself. A lot of hikers get lost, especially out in the desert without water. Carry water, people. We are the worst at this, because we'll be out somewhere and we'll be like, oh, there's a hike right there, a trailhead. Let's go start hiking it. Do we have any water with us? No. So we do it anyway. But we're trying to be better at this. We really are.
Are we?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
we remind ourselves all the time. I'll be like, Jeff, grab a bottle of water, grab some water. So, yeah, don't overtax yourself. Don't go out in extreme heat conditions and say, I'm going to hike 7 miles today. That's a huge problem in national parks.
Yeah.
So, we just know your limits.
You're just so
Very
stoked
important.
to be there, and you just can't wait to get
and
out
you want
there.
to see what's around that next corner,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
next hill. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's probably something amazing, and there usually is.
Yeah.
But know your limits. You can always come back again.
Something we also learned, I don't know where we learned it from, but even when you're in a campground and you're feeling completely safe, okay? And you know us, we travel a lot,
Yeah.
and we go from camping, and it all blends together after a while. Now, if somebody got hurt suddenly, you know, I couldn't tell you what the name of the campground is or what site
What
we're at.
site we're in.
Yeah.
We even forget what town we're in sometimes.
Yeah. So Stephanie, this was kind of your thing, and I think you found out from someone. But tell us what you do.
We found a whiteboard magnet, a large one online, and it has all your campground information. It says campground, site, police, fire, whatever. And when you get to each campground, you fill it in with your white pen, and so it's reusable. And when we get to a campground, we fill in the information. So if we had to call emergency services or 911 or something, all that information is right there in front of us, and we'd be able to just read it off. And it has fire, police, and emergency number, whatever.
Yeah, and think about it. You know, it's like like a real emergency. You just pick up your phone, you hit 911,
and you're like, "Where are we?"
The first thing they say is, "What is your location, sir? What is your location, ma'am?" You're like, I'm somewhere in Nebraska." You know, you got to. You should really do that because
either have a notepad or like one of these wipe-off boards where you can put that emergency information, so you always have it at hand.
Now, as far as boondocking goes, and there's a lot of single boondockers, and there's couples that boondock, but at times, and we all see the Instagram moments where your camper's on the side of a lake and you're just, and
where you're
having
like this.
you're just having the time of your life.
The
And a lot of it's camera angles. A lot of it's camera angles because there's a guy right next to you. But it may not be safe, and you have to use your gut on this one too, to boondock in a location where you don't see anybody. So if you're in a location that's a boondock location, chances are other people know about it. And sometimes you can get confused by those maps that say, this is BLM land or whatever, free camping land. If you can't see anybody around you,
anywhere,
and in the daytime, in the nighttime, you ain't gonna see anything or anybody, and you're a little bit, or could become more of a target. So that's kind of how we feel about it. A lot of people just want to go as far out and away from everybody as they can, but this is dealing with safety. So that's kind of our
first thought goes to, is this a place that the aliens come?
I'm hoping it is.
I don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere and get beamed up.
This is what we do. We sit outside at night. It's completely dark, and the stars everywhere, and I'm constantly looking for UFOs. I'm like, there's one, there's one.
Yeah, he does. Every
just a plane
is a UFO in Jeff's mind until he can see the blinking lights.
Yeah.
UFO!
Yeah.
And we get all excited. But I have seen way too many alien movies in my lifetime. And I just don't want to camp where there's nothing.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that always get...
they get abducted.
They get abducted and probed, and I'm not down with that.
You're okay with the probe and just not the abducting?
I'm not down with that.
Oh boy, okay. Moving right along.
Yes.
It's a good idea to keep a lock on your hitch.
Yes.
Because you may leave.
Yes.
And nothing easier than picking up a trailer and taking it away.
And these are travel trailers, or trailers that don't have all the slides out and stairs down and stuff. But those kind of trailers, someone could hitch up to and pull it right out. Like an Airstream, for example. I just think of the ones that don't have slides. They come to mind.
Yeah.
But if you have a smaller trailer that could easily be driven off with, make sure you have a trailer hitch lock on that.
Yeah.
So make sure you use and know how to use weather apps or weather websites in your area. We constantly monitor whether storms are heading our way or extreme heat conditions.
Wind is a big one.
Yeah. And so we can pull in awnings or whatever if we see wind coming, and the next hour we're like, oh, awnings in.
And weather changes quickly. So,
Yeah.
you know, Stephanie asks me maybe 4 times a day, what's the
Yeah,
weather?
what-
Is it supposed to rain now? It looks
Yeah.
cloudy, you know, as thunderheads and stuff. So we pay attention to the weather apps really well.
And there's so many different ones, and
Yeah.
there's like windy.com and, you know, different
Weatherbug's
storm
really good. I've been using that a
trackers.
lot lately.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but make sure you know how to use them and you have them like downloaded on your phone if you have smartphone capability, because that's going to make life a lot easier. So the next one has to do with weather. Find out when you pull into a campground if you're in one of these weather zones, like Tornado Alley, for example, or whatever.
And Tornado Alley is spreading
It's
now.
getting
It's going to be the whole
larger
country
every
pretty
year.
soon. Yeah.
Yep. So make sure that you check when you check into your campground where the storm shelters are. And we've used storm shelters. We've been in parks when tornado sirens go off. Make sure they have a concrete, you know, reinforced tornado shelter, whether that's the bathrooms or a office or whatever, and know how to get to that quick. Because if you hear these sirens, you need to grab your pets and you need to get over there.
Now this next one's for single travelers,
Yeah.
and especially for
Women.
women,
And there are
because
so many women single
it's like
RVers. We
80%.
meet them all the time.
it's like
yeah.
we rarely meet a single guy
Yes.
that's out there.
There are lots of women
yeah.
single RVers. So this
There's
is
roughly
for you gals.
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
80%. And, you know, it makes you think that if you were a single guy,
Yeah.
you know, it'd be a pretty easy date because you just go out, sit by the campfire,
Meeting
and have a
people on
drink,
the road.
right?
Yeah.
So anyway, in a serious
And I
note,
thought these were super cool tips. When I heard this from someone else, I go, wow, that's a great idea.
yeah.
The first one is to put out multiple chairs.
Multiple chairs if you're by yourself.
Yeah, don't just put out one camping chair. Put out 2 chairs. It looks like there's 2 people inside that RV, and
The first
you're
thing we
less
think
likely
when
to get-
when we see one chair, we know it's
Yeah.
just one person there, and you know,
yeah, exactly.
maybe not a good idea.
And the second thing, tell us what it is. It's so cool.
Big giant boots.
Yeah, get some men's big work
some man boots,
or
yeah.
some old hiking boots, some big size 13 men's boots or something. Leave them by your stairs.
Yeah, I mean
by your
you
entrance.
you see them big boots, and you might not want to go in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're gonna say, okay, I don't want to mess around with this guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the best things that you can do as a single female traveler, for
yes,
sure.
for sure.
Another good thing to do is, especially if you're out in the evening, you go into town or something, you definitely want to leave some lights on, maybe some music, the TV on. We even do this with our dogs. We leave so you know, there's some sound going on in there. And it's kind of comforting coming home to that.
Yeah, and it's a deterrent
And it's
for
a
any
deterrent.
theft. If they
Yeah.
think you're right inside the rig, they're less likely to pull up and steal your bike or your expensive
Yep.
camp stove
Generators.
or whatever you may
Yeah.
have out.
Yeah.
Don't leave those expensive things out there.
Stuff gets stolen all the time, especially bikes. You know, everybody seems like they got an
always
electric
hear
bike.
people's electric bikes stolen.
Stolen.
I mean, it's like a story we probably hear like every other month.
Yeah.
And that goes for generators, maybe expensive
Maybe solar
propane
panels.
fireplace,
Yeah.
solar panels
Yeah.
that you have outside.
Yeah.
There's some fancy stuff people leave outside.
I've seen
of
some
their
chairs I
campgrounds.
wouldn't mind having if I was walking around the campground. You know, ours aren't so good.
Yeah.
You know,
So we're always well aware and pull all those things away at night. So if we have nice stuff out during the day or we're charging our Jackery and we have the solar panels out, we make sure to put everything away at night.
yeah, even your surge protector if you're in a park. We have a lock on ours just
Yes.
to keep. You can't steal it. You
Yep.
know, it's going to take
Theft
some work to get
happens.
it.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's the times we live in.
Yeah.
And so just make sure
And everything costs a fortune.
it does.
Yeah.
You don't want to replace it. Make
Yeah.
sure you keep your stuff either locked up or put away.
And you definitely want to check your tires and tire pressure regularly. And
Yes,
this isn't just
please.
to make sure your tires are at the correct pressure. The lug nuts can loosen,
Yeah.
and I've tightened mine up. I had to tighten them, and they were actually loose, a couple of them. So
Well, I'm
it does
always
actually
scared
happen.
about blowouts too.
Oh, blowouts, yeah.
That just ruins a travel day like nobody's business. So just check your tires, check for wear regularly. I would say at least once a month. Check pressure. Jeff, I think every time we stop almost you check tires.
I'm awesome. You know, there's
Yeah.
obviously a lot more of these items, and
There's
feel
so
free to
many.
share them in the
Yeah.
because we couldn't think of everything, and I know
And we
there's
like
a lot
to
more.
learn from you guys.
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot of these that are
Everything.
on this list from
Yeah.
people telling us,
Yeah.
fellow campers or other YouTubers that have done videos of the sort. So we like to learn this stuff as we go along too. It makes this lifestyle so much easier if you're not always constantly worried about stuff.
Yeah.
And if you know you have steps in place for incidences and accidents that might happen.
Yeah. Now, after going through this whole list and giving you so many things to be worried about,
Yeah.
get out there and have a good time.
Yeah, forget all this for a few minutes. Take the afternoon off.
Yeah, have a good time. Get out there, and after you spend 2 hours on this list, just have fun.
Yeah, but we really appreciate you guys watching. We hope you learned something. Let us know if you have some helpful hints in the comments.
And thanks to our subscribers.
Yeah.
If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because we have a lot more content, a lot of different content coming.
Lots of fun ahead.
Yeah, and we're really happy that you've subscribed to our channel and it helped to grow it the way it has. So
For sure.
kudos
Thanks
to all
for
you guys.
watching.
Yeah.
Jeff and Steph's
Excellent.
Safety
Tips.
Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see you guys soon. Safe travels.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.